What time is it?
Moments of Inspiration with Zoe.
Hey fam, this is Zoe. I trust all is well with you. This is another episode of Moments of Inspiration. And as you might can tell, I'm on the outside. It's pretty gloomy out here and it's raining. And I started thinking about I guess you can classify it kind of as old school right now. The song by New Edition, Can You Stand the Rain? And you know, that question actually made a lot of sense to me with what I was meditating and studying on. And that's the question I have for you right now. Can you stand the rain? What do I mean by that? Well, in life, there's always challenges and different struggles and trials that we may go through. And it's important what you do while you're going through that. And that's what I want to talk to you today about. And once again, the question is, can you stand the rain? And so briefly here, you know, many times we go through situations in our lives and challenges, and I wrote down here, we actually put more attention, energy, and focus on getting out of the situation than we put into learning how we got into the situation in the first place. And so what I want to share with you is very important what you do during the trial. In other words, let me put it this way. What you learn while you're going through the trial is more important than getting out of the situation or the circumstance. Now, I know some of you can be like, how can you make such an asinine statement as that? But it's really, really true. What you do during your trial, what you do during your challenge, what you do during, quote unquote, a negative circumstance is more important than getting out of it. That's right. Why do I say that? Because when you get out of it and you didn't learn from it, what tends to happen is you will repeat the same thing over again, and then on top of that, many times your situation gets even worse. So where we find ourselves, we're going around chasing all these wildfires and symptoms and not dealing with the root. So that's why I made that statement, and it's very, very accurate. Very accurate. And so I have a few things here, a couple of mistakes that we make when we're going through a situation or a trial, and I already made reference to one of them. And number one is chasing symptoms. When you don't solve the root cause, you will experience it many times, and many times it gets worse and worse when you don't deal with it. So that's the first major mistake that people make when they're going through trials, is trying to get out of it instead of learning while they're in it and how they got in it. The second major mistake I have here is that we blame others instead of discovering and owning the part that you played in the experience. So that's another major mistake that we make as well. In other words, not taking responsibility for the part that you've had to play in that situation. So that's very important to understand as well when you're going through a trial, a situation, or a circumstance. And I have two scriptures here to close out with here. And I know this isn't going to be the most popular post that I've made, because when you talk about dealing with yourself and not rushing out of trials, that's very unpopular, because it demands discipline. It demands character. It demands looking at ourselves, and a lot of times that's not popular at all. But it's helpful and it's truthful. So that's what makes the most difference. Two scriptures I want to share with you here. James 1:4. It says, allow endurance, patience, perseverance to finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. Whew, I love that. Let me say that again. James 1:4. Allow endurance, patience, perseverance to finish its work, so that you may be mature, complete, not lacking anything. And also 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 10. I want to share that with you. So after you have suffered a little while, he will, number one, restore, number two, support, And number 3, strengthen you and place you on a firm foundation. That's the process. That is the process of learning in your trial. That's the process of getting out of your trial and not going back to it and returning to it over and over again. Number 1, he will restore you. Number 2, support you. Number 3, strengthen you and place you on a firm foundation. So I want you to remember that on today, and just remember, hey, don't put your energy and focus into trying to get out of your situation. Put your energy and focus into learning how you got there in the first place. Let's solve it at the root. And when you get the root cause, you won't return again, and you'll be able to help others that are going through what you've been delivered out of. I love you, and remember that something good is going to happen to you. God bless.
Moments of Inspiration with Zoe.